Join our growing community of manhwa lovers, where the excitement never ends. From hidden gems to blockbuster series, we've got you covered. Discover new releases, revisit timeless classics, and engage in lively discussions with fellow fans who share your passion for this incredible art form. The scene began with the crowd's excitement echoing through the arena, shouting about the match they had all eagerly awaited. The referee, with anticipation in his voice, introduced the participants. Daniel, known as the Crusher, and his opponent, RMC named Kwon Young-min, hailed as the Master. The atmosphere was electric as the referee made them face each other, asking if they were ready. The referee signaled the start of the fight, and Daniel wasted no time charging towards his opponent. However, Young-min swiftly ducked and executed a powerful kick to Daniel's face, sending him flying. The stunned crowd couldn't believe the fight had ended in just 2 seconds. The referee, maintaining order, declared Young-min as the winner. After the match, a reporter approached Daniel for his thoughts on the victory. Daniel, with a victorious tone, expressed his happiness and declared that this day marked his ascent to the pinnacle of the world. He announced his retirement, leaving the audience in awe. The next day, in his apartment, Daniel lounged around, watching the news coverage of his sudden retirement. He acknowledged that the noise would die down soon, considering the dwindling popularity of martial arts. His solitude was interrupted when someone, a mix of frustration and concern, slapped his back. Asked to make friends, Daniel questioned where he could find them. The advice given was to go to a gym or anywhere he pleased. Defending his decision to retire at 24, he asserted that there was no one left to challenge him. He sarcastically agreed that gaining weight would be a loss for humanity, teasingly emphasizing his laziness. As he lounged on the sofa, the suggestion to play games was met with indifference. The television showed an interview about real-life martial artists entering the game Final Saga. Ashton, one of the interviewees, confidently dismissed the idea that retired master Kwon Young-min could stand a chance. He explained that control alone wasn't enough, emphasizing the importance of leveling up and obtaining items. Intrigued, Daniel's interest in the game was piqued. Sneaking out, he left his companion dancing around in excitement. He contemplated the allure of being a ranker, wondering if it truly lived up to the hype. Recalling debates about his strength compared to other rankers, he pondered who might be the next formidable opponent. The next morning, as Daniel walked the streets, people looked on in surprise and amazement at the retired martial arts master in their midst. Ash strolled through the streets, the whispers of the people followed him. Murmurs about whether he was a celebrity filled the air, while others recognized him as Kwon Young-min, the world's strongest man. He listened to the flattering words of the crowd, feeling a mix of happiness and shyness at his newfound popularity. Upon arriving at the Final Saga building, the atmosphere shifted. Workers, initially chatting happily, stopped in their tracks as he entered. Amazement and disbelief filled the room. A bold worker approached, surprised, asking how she could assist him. To everyone's astonishment, he inquired about how to play Final Saga, leading the worker to question if he genuinely wanted to join. Suggesting an alternative game, he considered playing Linux 5 elsewhere, but the worker stopped him, expressing her long-standing desire to serve him. She pointed the way, explaining the initial process involved a body scan to determine strength, agility, and stamina, just like in the game. In the scan room, he stood topless as the machine scanned him. The worker, counting down, was shocked to find all the results at their maximum. A few days later, the Final Saga producers and operators marveled at the trophies earned by Master Kwon Young-min. The operator discussed the additional experience points for championship wins, and they were astounded by the accumulated total. Back in his apartment, he yawned, realizing it had been a while since he had such a long nap. Curious about Final Saga, he considered giving it a try. Observing a light inside the room, he touched it, put on the exclusive suit, and entered the machine. The interface guided him through the process, creating a new account based on the body scan data. Panicking at the myriad options, he navigated through character creation, settling on the name Ryan. A clone materialized, and the interface welcomed him, urging success in writing the last legend of the world. Choosing to start the tutorial, he vanished into the game, impressively clearing the stages. Outside the game, operators were amazed by his skills, questioning the possibility of a new record for all stages. As he effortlessly dodged monsters and cleared the tutorial, the producers were stunned. They couldn't believe how he managed to complete all 10 stages perfectly, speculating on the nature of his movements. Inside the game, he effortlessly defeated monsters, earning a hidden skill named Ultimate Strike. Bored, he questioned the longevity of the training and wondered if it was a failed game. Meanwhile, in the ageless coffee store, excitement bubbled as someone asked if the master had decided to play Final Saga because of her, though she insisted on keeping the news quiet. Inside of game, Ryan continued his journey, reaching stage 30. Facing a doppelganger, their eyes locked, and he was impressed by the reflection of his own skills. Strategizing, he swiftly avoided the doppelganger's attacks and executed a surprising Conor McGregor spinning back kick, incapacitating it. As it faded away, he couldn't shake off the creepy feeling despite his victory. The interface informed him that his training was complete, achieving an all-kill with a first-place ranking. His abilities were boosted, and he was now the embodiment of martial arts perfection. As a reward for transcending the mission objective, he was offered a choice between a martial god body and nature's body. Unfamiliar with these options, he regretted not checking basic information beforehand, but chose nature's body after a quick comparison. Initiating the martial bone modification, he felt a sudden sensation and cried out in pain. The scene shifted to the Angelus coffee shop, where questions arose about her brother's decision to play. She explained the concept of high-level players helping low-level players, known as glossary helping, and mentioned that she couldn't assist until the tutorial ended. Back inside the game, Ryan faced more challenges, effortlessly defeating monsters with powerful strikes. Outside observers were surprised by his skills. Opening his status window, he discovered peculiar stats plus 45 for everything. Puzzled by the strange balance, he deemed the game doomed. Ignoring the chaos around him, he noticed something in the distance and decided to investigate. Jumping down stone steps, he headed towards a high-level zone. As he entered, he heard growls and encountered level 25 blue wolves. However, a loud growl from behind scared the wolves away. Facing the source of the growl, Ryan encountered the wild forest king grizzly bear, a level 35 monster. Stunned by its presence, he questioned if it was a joke. The bear roared furiously and attacked, but Ryan, quick on his feet, avoided its strikes. Detecting the bear's weakness, he strategically punched its weak point, causing it to slam into the stone. As the bear attempted to scratch him, Ryan skillfully avoided its attacks. Observing an opening, he delivered a powerful punch to the bear's chin, causing it to collide with the stone. With the bear stunned, he positioned himself for the next move, ready to face the challenges of this new world. Inside of game, Ryan continued his triumphant battle against the wild forest king grizzly bear. Delivering rapid punches to the bear's face, he caused it to lose several sharp teeth. Gathering a strong force, he unleashed a powerful kick, causing the bear to fall and collapse with a resounding impact. The interface congratulated him, acknowledging his achievement of defeating a level 35 bear at level 1. He earned the titles Levels Are Just Numbers, King of the Forest, and the unique title for defeating the bear without assistance. All his attack power increased by 5%, but his items suddenly broke into pieces, leaving him puzzled about its disappearance and potential durability issues. To his surprise, the dead bear shone brightly, releasing a new item: the grizzly bear's 4-paw gloves. Crafted from the king grizzly bear's hide, these gloves granted the wearer the strength of a bear with an attack power of 30. Excitedly, he wore them, feeling fortunate for this unexpected upgrade. Checking his status window, he remembered Min Young's advice about not messing with spare ability points. However, he noticed a peculiar plus 45 for everything, wondering if it was related to his nature's body. Perplexed, he deemed the stats weird and questioned the game's balance. In the Condulsa office, workers observed Ryan's gameplay, astonished by his bear slaying skills. A discussion ensued about potential game balance issues, particularly regarding the overpowered Ultimate Strike. The possibility of an admin testing the game's balance was considered, but the lack of a notice left them puzzled about the player's identity. In Velrose Village, a starter village, players marveled at Ryan's equipment, assuming he was a high-level player. Some asked for favors, but he walked away, commenting on people's entitlement. Realizing he needed a job, he sought the Martial Guild, where he was welcomed by a big man. Confused about how he got there, Ryan expressed his desire to change his job to a martial artist. The man was ecstatic, handing him a registration paper. Placing his hand on it, the man noticed his nature's body, but instead of an issue, he excitedly welcomed him to the Martial Guild. The interface informed Ryan that he had become an apprentice martial artist, and his chosen basic job couldn't be changed except under special circumstances. Given a few basic skill books, he found them underwhelming, understanding why martial artists weren't popular. Expressing his disappointment, the man apologized and thanked him for registering. After the data transfer was complete, Ryan walked through the village, contemplating his next move. Remembering his sister's advice to level up first, he considered trying to fight stronger opponents. The adventure in the game was unfolding, and Ryan was ready to embrace the challenges ahead.